creepy. Stop.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
I am here with Brazil, Nicole, and our most recently evicted house guest, Andrew, to dish the dirt now on Big Brother Cheesecake 6 Hockey Sticks. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 6 Hockey Sticks. It's day 71 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and we are down to the final six. Corey, Rhonda, Karen, Steven, Brooke, and clearly somebody forgettable. Who did I forget?
Hearn.
Oh, Hearn, sorry. Whoops. But they are competing now in the clockwork competition. We will have the results in tomorrow's episode. For now, and then it's a double eviction week as well. But for now, we are here with Andrew, who was evicted yesterday in 7th place. Probably the first house guest ever to, on their way out, have like literally everyone in the house say nice things to you and that they were so sorry to vote you out. That never happens. It was very kumbaya. So Andrew, I'm so sorry. Tell us what you think went wrong and what went right, because you made it to final 7, and that's pretty good. 70 days.
Well, what went wrong for me was, I guess, Hearn, because I believe he was the last guy to vote, and I kept dropping little snippets in his ear. I didn't want to annoy him all day, but I know he's in a different time zone too. But I was pretty much telling him, hey, man, like, you're just a pawn at this point. These guys are just keeping you around because you're cannon fodder, and use me. Let me be the shield. I'm anti-Steven. I put the target on my back from the jump. Let me continue to keep taking all the aggro. And I guess my assumption, Rhonda and Corey got in his ear. That's my assumption. I always thought that he kind of trailed behind Rhonda and Corey.
Sure.
And Rhonda and Corey think that they're planning everything right now, but it's Steven and Karen that's running the show. So
that's what everyone has been saying every single episode for at least the past 7 weeks of my life, like 8.
I mean, yeah. There's only 2 weeks left, and I think most people know at this point that Karen and Steven, they've had 6 of the last 7 HOHs, so that never happens in real Big Brother. And yeah, they're pretty much on top right now with Corey and Rhonda beneath them, and then Hearn and Brooke get the rear at this point. Is that right, Andrew?
Yeah, I would definitely say so, because I was running different scenarios in my mind. See, they both burned bridges, but Karen played like an amazing social game. Well, she's playing an amazing social game, and Steven is like a mastermind with these comps and just his approach on how he handles the game in general. You know, the whole silent treatment for some and not others, it doesn't work for me. I thought this is a social game where everybody kind of talks. And I'm remembering back to Judy's extra whip, where she said, like, in other orgs, like, someone that acts like that would be like canned immediately. So I don't even know how he made it as far as he did. And you guys remember, like, the I always, in Andrew's videos, he's always looking for drama. He's like, no drama started yet. No drama started yet. And I guess the only drama I saw was when kind of Zach got evicted. And then there wasn't really any drama there. And it was getting kind of dull. And I'm like, you know what? Let me stir the pot. And Steven was the guy. He kept releasing these 20-minute videos, and everyone was talking about him. And I was like, you know what? Let me just get at this guy. I had no specific reason. He didn't do anything. I thought it was good fun. And then awesome. I made that House of Cards video, and it got traction, you know. And then next thing you know, Steven's public enemy number one. And people were saying they didn't like him before, but he became public enemy there. And then I put that little movement group together. It wasn't an alliance. There's no way that big. But I made anti-Steven, and I thought for sure this guy's toast. And then, as we all know, Karen did that Karen thing, and boom, he's there. So
You were, I believe, one of the ones who have voted to evict Steven that week, right? I know.
that's good.
Yeah, I figured. I know we're not supposed to talk about it, but I mean, it's so long ago. Were you surprised?
Anti-Steven, they know, man. They know.
Yeah.
True, that's true.
Were you surprised that week that Jit was evicted?
Yeah.
Or did you know it was coming?
No. That like the way I was moving the house, like you said it yourself in your video, like last second, everyone kind of flipped.
Yeah.
I had Jit so comfortable that he was just relaxing, and like I thought I had it in the bag. I'm like, this guy's done. Let me go to bed, And
But what I'm saying is,
Never sleep.
what I'm asking is, were you blindsided?
when Jit got evicted and
Yeah.
Steven stayed, hell yeah. I was like,
Okay.
yeah, that at that point I was reminded that it was foolish of me to trust the members of the house, because like Andrew said in the end of his video today, like I've been pushing for trust like from day one, just trying to form circles of trust, and like everyone would talk to everyone. And I think you got something wrong when you said that I was in too many, because I at first I tried to keep it to one, and then I would hear from other people not in the group what was said in the group. So I'm like, okay, this group's snake. Let me try a different set. And every like I swear like in the beginning I must have been responsible for like 30% of the alliance creations. I was just trying to form a circle of trust, and all I found each time was I was in a room with a bunch of snakes.
What I think happened was I didn't know that you and Judy knew each other. So that was a complete coincidence to me. And when Judy started creating alliances, which she started a lot of them, you were always one of the people in them. So I think it was like people added up, oh, how come Judy and Andrew are in all these alliances that we're in? And that
So-
maybe got you in a bit of trouble early on.
Actually, I don't know Judy. I met her through the game, and
You didn't know her prior to the season?
never knew her before.
She told me she knew.
Judy, you're a liar.
She said.
No, honestly, Andrew, I swear, never knew Judy. Never.
Oh,
Never
I'm opening my chat with her and I'm scrolling all the way up. But anyway, Brazil asks something.
Why you always lying?
Oh my god, I'm dead.
She said
No,
you guys
but-
grew up together. You live on the same street.
Of course they
Yeah.
What the
do.
hell? She never said that.
Said your neighbors.
Oh my
But
god.
while you're looking for that, Judy and Zach were the first people I made relationships with, and then Jonah kind of came in there afterwards.
Did
Zach-
you vote to keep Jonah last week then?
Sorry.
Did you vote to keep Jonah last week?
Yeah. Do you want to get to that juicy now or later?
We only have so
No.
long.
Yeah, you can do it now.
Okay, so it was last week, right, Andrew?
Yeah.
I had the house dynamic like to a T, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna happen. This person's gonna do that, and I decided that I wanted Jonah to stay over Hearn, not for anything personal, because I like Hearn. Hearn is a great guy, but Jonah is a stronger player than Hearn, and we were getting to the numbers where I didn't need Jonah to be everybody's favorite. That didn't matter, because I took on the anti-Steven genre, and Jonah was already ostracized from whatever took place with the Sabres. And I was like, you know what? We're getting to the point where it's going to be 6. Let's go 2, me and Jonah. It's going to be Corey and Rhonda, and it's going to be Steven and Karen, right? Sorry. So, long story short, I got everything into place to keep Jonah. And I had the alumni down. I had individual support. I don't want to ruin anybody's game. And then I had the extra vote, which was the best kept secret of this entire game. And part of that is I didn't take the chance after trying to make so many alliances. I'm like, fuck these guys. I can't trust nobody. I kept that quiet, and
Good,
then
good.
and nobody knew at all. Like going back kind of to the Judy thing, she was the only person I told, and she kept it locked up. And the reason why I trusted Judy with it is because early game,
You
like
know her.
Because you guys went to high school together.
no. I knew shit
your
all
mother.
about Big Brother Cheesecake, whatever. Like I've seen Big Brother play with like my girlfriend watching and whatnot. I don't know anything about Big Brother. Don't ask me the characters. Don't ask me the seasons. Don't ask me who won or whatever. I just have an idea that people do competitions and then someone gets evicted based off the vote. That's what I knew. That's what I came in knowing. But Andrew, I don't know if it was his subliminal manipulation or whatever. Every time I ran into him at work, he'd be like, "Hey, you would do good in this game. You do." He said to me like 7 times.
Always.
And I was right.
Always.
And I was right. You did
Yeah.
do good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So
You did very good.
he pushed me in. So I didn't know nothing. And Judy was holding my hand through like the first 3 weeks, like telling me everything, telling me what to watch out for, telling me what not to say, because I was trying to find my place in the house. I didn't know. Should I be me? Should I act like somebody else?
Yeah.
Should I have verbal diarrhea? I don't know. So she walked me through the whole thing. Sorry, go ahead.
And some of the jurors took, what's the word, took umbrage with the fact that I said in the episode that you would have had the votes to win at the end. But I really do think you would beat anybody in the end. And so
I agree.
I
They
agree.
they did make the right decision to evict you.
Well, Karen and Steven made the right decision. I don't think anyone
Yeah,
else
yeah,
did.
yeah. I would agree with Brazil there. I do appreciate that, and maybe you're right. What bothers me is the argument that was made, and I know that was the pitch that Steven and Karen both gave Rhonda and Corey. They're like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be a threat to the jury," but there's more people in the house than there is in the jury. So like, you're making that call way too soon. And I do a lot of things based off statistics, and what saved me was my wit, because I didn't do good in the games. I'm not gonna lie. I tried really hard. Bullshit on the Halloween challenge, by the way, because I put a raw egg on a grapefruit.
Yeah, yours is nasty.
But yeah, like I wasn't winning anything. The only thing I won was the vetoes, and that's when it really mattered.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where I was going with that again.
Wait, but what happened with the vote?
Oh, yeah, I fucked up. I gave the wrong words to Andrew. I I typed the wrong thing, and it messed, because Andrew's very specific with what you have to send him, and I used the extra vote on her because it was a vote to evict. Sorry.
What
So
did you
Hearn-
What did you say exactly?
What did I say, Andrew?
You said you want to use your extra vote on Hearn. So I'm like, okay. So you used your extra vote on Hearn.
Let me look.
Oh no.
Hang on, hang on.
Andrew.
No. Hang on.
So Jonah technically would still be in the game, possibly, if
Yeah.
Yeah, and based off the annihilation Steven was doing with his green properties, it would have been a completely different thing.
oh my god.
Yeah.
I think that Stephen would have still won head of household because he and Karen collected everybody's surveys, which every season there's one or two people that just get all the surveys and people just, blindly give it to them. And so I think Stephen would have still won HOH. And I think ultimately,
One of the two.
yeah, I think Jonah either would have gone this week or Andrew would have gone this week. I don't think it would have been a huge difference. But Hearn is still in the game because of this.
What
That's
was
crazy.
what did the wording have to be? Because I told Andrew the whole
For that, there's no wording. It's just you want to play your extra vote. And I'm like, okay.
So I said I choose to use my secret vote on Jonah. That's the exact words I said. So
Oh,
Right.
so you voted for Jonah
Yeah.
to be evicted.
yeah,
On accident.
that's not what was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But-
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. But Jonah's aware. Jonah's aware. Yeah. But
I mean, at this point, everybody's
Yeah.
aware now. But I
Oh,
mean, and
oh.
finally, finally Curtis is aware because he still thought Hearn had the extra vote. You did a
Curtis.
you did a very good job keeping that extra vote quiet. In
Yeah.
Survivor and in other orgs, extra votes are always known publicly because they're, blabbered to everybody. So I was impressed with that. And it did actually cause sort of, with multiple votes, especially ones that were close or had the potential to be close, it caused paranoia in certain alliance chats, like in the JIT vote, because the people that were discussing the Just Us people, Jonah, Brooke, Amethyst, and Kately, they were discussing, well, do we have the votes to get JIT out? Because what if the extra vote is played? Then who knows? And so by not telling people, it made the game harder for everybody else except for you. So it was bravo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Karen, I don't know, to this day, I don't know if Karen suspected me though, because she was drilling me crazy about the extra vote.
She thought you had it, but she had no proof.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then in terms of your Amethyst veto, which was a good veto, like you had it all the way till the last week you could have used it, which is great, because of nullifying 2 eviction votes when there's only 5 votes has a high probability of saving you. But unfortunately, the vote was 4-1. And so even by taking 2 votes away, it was still 2-1, which sucks. But so it's not counted as a successful use, but at the same time, you at least you plucked away 2 votes that were against you. Yeah. I feel bad.
Was that their reasoning then, that not Karen and Stevens, but Rhonda, Corey, and Hearn, that they thought you were gonna win against anyone in final 2?
That's what they were saying. Hearn didn't say that exactly, but Rhonda and Corey did come clean about that, and I appreciate that. But I was just, I don't know where Steven gets this ability to, like, he'll and I say Steven because at this point, whatever Steven wanted, like, Karen worked with him and Karen agreed with him. So I'm just saying Steven in general because I'm anti-Steven. But whatever he wanted to highlight, that's what people highlighted. I couldn't believe it. Like, the facts is in front of your face, and he's like, "Oh no, look over there," and everyone did, and I didn't understand. I even painted it out. I knew the house dynamic. I knew this Final Four thing was created. I messaged Andrew. I'm like, "Yo, this is what's going down," and I'm gonna hit these guys up, and I'm gonna tell them, like, your Final Four is bullshit, and it's not gonna work. And I did that, and it just, I don't know. They just didn't. They didn't want to hear it. So
I felt bad for you because you were not in the Savers, which was a dominant 7-person alliance, and then a counter alliance. At this point, like, there's only 4. We all know who's in it. Mbop was created, which now has become the dominant alliance of 4, and you weren't in that either. So I felt bad that you were constantly being excluded from the alliances that actually held power and did stuff, because late in the game you were kind of on your own.
But you made it far regardless.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I mean, you did, with all those against you, you did really well in this game.
Thanks.
And you won 2 vetoes, which is more than a lot of the people left in the game have won.
I feel like
no one's got an HOH.
Yeah. Literally no one's won HOH.
Yeah, but there are one. Well, no, it's just Brooke and, oh, and you're right. Brooke, Corey, and Hearn. Half the house has not been HOH yet. Wow.
I mean, yeah, never mind.
What a stark contrast from last season, where I think almost everybody had at least one. It took till week 9 or something before we had a repeat. So
Yeah, we traded. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so Andrew, there's only 6 people left, and I ask this every week. Who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to see win?
Well, unless Rhonda and Corey wake up and smell the coffee, they're still gonna stay true to their 4 group there, and they're gonna crush Brooke and Hearn. That's how I see it. And I'm hoping that they maybe have something up their sleeves. Maybe they want to do something with Hearn. I don't know, but
That'd be interesting. That'd be a good ending.
Yeah, yeah. But at the end of the day, like you gotta look at statistics, and statistically, Corey's always number two. So I don't know if that's gonna help him. And Rhonda's too damn old to keep up with Steven. So it's a joke.
Okay.
Rhonda, it's a joke. Relax.
I'm like, here's the tea. Now we're gonna get sassy.
No, no. This is a joke. This is a joke.
Like, what's this fight?
The first time I spat out juice watching one of Andrew's video is he started shaking. He's like, "I'm Rhonda."
Is that in a Joanne voice?
When he was having her go upstairs to the HOH room, I was fucking dying.
Rhonda, it's all love. You know I was joking.
I'm sure she knows.
Do you think, knowing that the competition was a 24-hour endurance competition, that you would have won Clockwork?
Oh, I was ready, man. I was ready.
Yeah.
I was ready. And in fact, I was gonna book off sick if I didn't if I didn't win. If I didn't get evicted, I would have booked off sick. I was ready.
Respect.
You were gonna book off sick and then accidentally do a typo in like the first hour and be like, shit. Can I book back on? I'm ready to go. Hi, Nala. Nala. Oh, so cute. Has her thingamajig healed?
Well, she gave her paw. Yeah, she gave herself another hotspot though. Well, that one was healing, so now it's just on a different side of the paw, but it's okay.
Nala, you're trash.
Oh, is she limping?
Little, yeah.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And if you,
Drama.
yeah.
So who do you think will win? Who do
Yeah,
you want? Who do you want to win?
Who do I want to win? I would really like to see Brooke win because that's just the underdog coming right up out of it. That would be an amazing game to watch. So I would like to see that win. Who's gonna win? I think Karen's gonna win because Steven burned way too many damn bridges. So it's gonna be those two, and then Karen will take it just because that impressive social game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think it'll come down to social game, a kind of a social game vote towards the end.
Yeah, well, see, Karen
management.
Karen, what? I don't know how she does it. She will slit your throat and love you at the same time. Like, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
That's what the best players do.
I mentioned that too, and every single person comes on Extra Whip and says that, and it's still on the game. You brought up two interesting people. You didn't mean to do it on purpose, but let's say Karen and Brooks somehow make the final two. In that case, for Brooke to win, it would have to be a pretty bitter jury because I think anybody will say that Karen overall has done more, has made more moves. But do you think the jury would give it to Brooke?
See, Karen
and Brooke would still any of the six remaining in the game would still be a great winner. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying in that final two scenario, which is an interesting one, do you think the jury would be bitter and pick Brooke or go with Karen?
In that case, I would change kind of how I look at it because if Karen made the final two, that's just Karen being Karen. But right now, for Brooke to climb out the mud and up the hill and make it to that two, that would be impressive to me. Someone that hasn't won nothing and is solely stuck around, albeit by social game or by luck or a bit of both, you know. So I like to see a game like that, and Brooke would have my support solely for that. You know, Karen's great, and like I said, she'll most likely win. But if it came down to the two, I would support Brooke just because of that amazing feat.
Yeah,
and very interesting. Yeah,
I get the sense too that Brooke would have a lot of votes in that scenario, and that it would be close. Yeah. On the other hand, I've noticed that Corey and Rhonda, the last couple weeks, they were both very, very active in the beginning. And the last couple weeks, Corey and Rhonda have faded into the background.
Totally.
Well,
yeah.
well, obviously.
which I mean, they've been safe. They've been in this 4-person alliance, and so like it makes sense. But do you think that could cost them in the end if they make it to the finals? Because you saw what the jury was like this morning.
Rephrase the question. I kind of zoned out halfway.
It was a long question.
If Corey, like not together, but if Corey or Rhonda make final 2 against somebody else, what do you think that they could win?
Well, if it was Corey, I think he would lose just because nobody wants to break that number 2 pun. So sorry, Corey, you're number 2, man. Rhonda making it then. No, because Rhonda hasn't done anything impressive. Like Rhonda, and I don't want to sound like I'm bashing Rhonda. Rhonda, ever since she got HO8, treated me great until she decided to vote me. But
Rhonda was the only one who put the strongest person one of the strongest people in the game, Steven, up, and then won the veto and kept him up. And it was only after that vote, when Corey and Rhonda were blindsided, that they then said, well, if you can't beat him, join him. And if you're gonna, not do what we say, then screw you. So there was some saltiness against Corey and Rhonda from the jury, but if you're gonna blindside them, what do you expect?
Yeah. And it's that
go ahead.
Yeah, it's that can't beat him, join them mentality that makes Rhonda strike me as a float player. She just kind of floats where the house is at, and that's where they're going, and that's why if she made it to finals, I wouldn't be too impressed. Again, don't want to sound like I'm bashing anyone. I love Rhonda, but that's how I see it.
It's not personal, it's just game.
Yeah. And I mean,
I took it personal.
But also, I mean, because we're talking pros and cons. Rhonda also was just about out the door week 3 had Amy not
wanted to go.
So the fact that 50 days later she's still here and is still going, and so that's impressive too for a 103-year-old.
Hey, Andrew, actually, I just want to pause you for a sec. I gotta shout out Amy W. She is a nice person. She's always been kind to me. She, great personality. Really unfortunate what happened to her early game and how she felt. But Amy, I love you, and I just want to show you up.
Aww.
If we're doing shout outs, I'd like to say what's up to Marcin at this time. And
Marcin!
What's up, Marcin?
And you have to stop telling him, well, it's too late now, but you have to stop telling him stuff, because he would come up to me at work and he'd be like, Andrew already told me what happened in the house, so I didn't bother watching. And I'm like, okay.
He would always send me the raps that you sent him, and I was like, yo, he's actually hella good. Like, I'd be on my walks like, yeah. Steven, like, wait.
Hi, Steven.
Like, wait, what?
So Andrew, any last thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I'm gonna continue watching the videos. I always look forward to them in the morning. Andrew, I tell you all the time, man, super impressed with you to be able to put this whole thing together.
Aww.
For Christmas, I will get you a 4K camera, but
He'll send it back.
Don't try. He'll return it.
Nick, who was it? Nick, Marcin, and Lindsay tried that. Was it that combo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick was one of them, but yeah. They tried that, and I didn't like it. It was too crisp. Yeah.
He likes it a little fuzzy.
Yeah, but I just love
what's happening back there.
I love everything about it, man. And I was dreading, but also looking forward to the, hey, you let a beach ball in.
You know who that's from? That's from Adrian. You know Adrian Cunningham? He hates, who was the Pittsburgh goalie for so long? What was his name? Marc-Andre Fleury. I don't know who he plays for now. Because he was traded, wasn't he? Who does he play for? Shit. Now it's going to bother me. But anyway, he was traded, but Adrian at work would always say, I hate Marc-Andre Fleury. That guy lets a fucking beach ball in.
Is that the Rai voice?
I know.
No, it's similar. But yeah, so that's where that came from. But anyway, so thank you. That's so sweet. And you have to help me get more people from work because there's still a lot of wacko psychos that haven't played yet. And this season
No
we
more
only have
bus
2
drivers.
operators.
Yeah,
Andrew,
true.
I wish I played with you as a bus driver. I've encountered a lot of fun bus drivers in my cheesecake.
There are so many Charlene's and Chads that are out in that workplace that could play. That would
Why do
just
you want to do that to people?
I'm not gonna lie though. If there's more transit operators, I honestly wouldn't be about my show like I did because Andrew knows I'm in like a special position at work, so I can't show too much of my wild side. But I'm glad
Right.
Can't fuck around too much.
yeah.
Can't eat raw egg and grapefruit.
Not in public.
Okay. I mean, yeah, fair. Okay, so with that said, who will win the Big Brother Clockwork Endurance Head of Household competition? Find out tomorrow. And who will they nominate? We'll also find out tomorrow and have the rules of the Topaz Power Veto competition. Then Friday is the Topaz Power Veto results. Saturday is the Topaz Power Veto ceremony. And Sunday is the next live eviction and head of household competition where not 1 but 2 house guests will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 6 house, failed to clinch a spot in the Stanley Cup Finals as they are eliminated from we're in round 3 now, and lose their shot at the $600 cash prize. I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Take care, and remember, why is a puck called a puck? Because Dirty Little Bastard was taken. Good night.